The night sky is an ever-changing wonder, full of stars, planets, our moon, satellites, beauty, and more. In this camp at home video, we are going to look at just a couple of concepts, and I'll give you a couple of things to look for and at from your home. Let's start by talking about the natural elements that move in the night sky. The moon is the most notable. As the sun goes down in these pictures, we see our moon as the lower bright object here. We have some limitations with our camera, but as we zoom in, you can start to see the crescent become clearer. The main thing to note is that the sun is still lighting up half the moon, but we only see it as a crescent because most of the light being reflected from the moon is not reaching us. Are you able to see the moon today? We often think of the moon as only being out at night, but about half the month it can be seen easily during the day, either in the morning or evening. Planets are also objects that move in the night sky. In fact, the name planet comes from the Greek word which means wanderer, because they change position throughout the year based on their orbit and Earth's. The brighter object that can be seen with the moon here is Venus. Because Mercury and Venus are closer to the sun than us, they can only be seen closer to the times when the sun can be seen. This is one of the ways that we know that Mercury and Venus are closer to the sun than we are. We also know this because sometimes we get to see them pass between the sun and Earth, like in this picture. This is Venus passing between Earth and the sun in 2012. What do you think would be proof that other planets like Mars, Jupiter, or Saturn are further from the sun than Earth? Pause the video and write down your answer and we'll see if you are correct. Here we see Jupiter, Saturn, and Mars. In this picture, the sun is getting ready to rise, whereas we are only able to see Venus up to an hour or so from sunset or sunrise. As we head into summer, we will start to see Jupiter, Saturn, and Mars move more to the middle of the night and then closer to sunset in the fall. This means that they are able to be seen at all hours of the night, which means that they are further out from the sun than we are. Now let's talk about stars and constellations. Can you think of any stars? Most people will think of the North Star, also known as Polaris. Most of us know about the North Star, but it can be hard to find, especially when the moon is bright or we are in the city. To find it is often easiest to start by finding the Big Dipper. Do you see it in this picture? Let's draw it. Once we see the Big Dipper, we are going to take the two stars that make the end of the scoop and start to draw a line through them. We will follow this path until we find a star that is just as bright. This is the North Star. The North Star is part of the Little Dipper. Constellations are used similarly to what we did to find the North Star, but they can also be used to tell seasons. People used to use the constellation Leo to know when to plant crops. Here we see both Ursa Major and Ursa Minor. Do you see the two bears? It is often difficult to see all the stars in the constellations now due to the lights from cities, but sometimes the constellations seem to be distorted. Like maybe Ursa Major looks like a bear, but bears don't have long tails like that, which is also why people used to tell stories about them. Well, we have run out of time for today, but before I go, can you find the moon today, even when the sun is still out? It is currently early May 2020, which means if you are watching close to now, you can still see Venus and Mercury after the sun sets. Or if you are an early riser, you can catch Jupiter, Saturn, and Mars right before sunrise. Let us know on our Facebook page what planets you have been able to find. Okay, one last thing. While I was taking photos for this, I caught the start of a shooting star. I couldn't believe it. I'm still freaking out about it. It's right there. I'm done geeking out now, and have a great day.